Yep.
Okay, so we're
I mean,
working
I've
in an
already
area
walked
and
through this area, like I
reducing
say,
the
it's been
level of the
contaminated
productive
a little bit.
source a little bit. You know, you're
So,
going down to lower grass,
well, I am just going to
to
get rid
a
of that because
finer
he's going to
surface
fucking
area,
try
so
and
it
eat
takes a little
that.
bit more effort to
So,
actually work
I'm
it.
going to throw that
Um,
down the fucking
I
hill.
see we still
Oh,
have the
yeah, that was
trailer
great.
dragging
Oh,
the
my
towel.
God.
We don't
Fucking
need to
hell.
really do that
All right.
anymore. As a matter of fact, it's time to start challenging them now. So the next tracks, let's take that towel out of the repertoire. It's really good when we're
So,
building
yeah,
that
just pick a
foundation
path down
and we want
there,
the
and then,
dog to
like I
start
say, handrail
staying a little bit
the upper
closer to
side.
the track. But
And then,
as the dog
yeah, I'll let you go, and then when
progresses
you get
with
all
its
the way over
ability
there, just
level,
flick me a text
we
so that I
need
know that
to make things just a
you're
little
ready
bit
to
more
go.
difficult.
Yep.
So we're going to start to do that
Awesome.
on your next track, day 26. Okay. So
No,
I know
hang
with
on.
this video we have about a 12 to a 13-minute set time
Yeah, a
after
little detour.
your
Yeah, I was going to
trailer
say, don't
gets
go
out of
downhill
sight,
yet. That's way too
and
steep.
Raz is
So,
going to have to work this trail that I believe is a little over 350 meters. Actually, I'm sorry, 520
that's all right.
meters
Just
total.
swing to your right
So
and just
this,
head down
to date, I think is going to be
down the
about
hill
his
to your right.
longest
It's all
track
good.
so far. Keep in mind, you know, you have a puppy that's about 16 weeks old, and you're working a trail that's 520 meters. Really? Really, really good work. Okay, so Raz comes in, and as always, he's super, super excited to do his thing, and we love that. Takes odor really nicely. He's not playing with the article anymore. I love how you give him a moment to try to pick up the direction of the track, and he does it right there. Now, it's really important when we start our tracks that we don't encourage a direction of travel with the dogs. They need to make that choice themselves. One of the things that can occur with us, because we're so interested in them doing well, is we have a tendency to step off in the direction of the trail layer's track if we know that direction, which sometimes cues the dog. You didn't do that here, and the only reason I'm mentioning it is I just don't want you to do that in the future. Really make sure that whenever we work these trails that Raz picks the direction, not you. That means you keep your feet straight, don't move them until he picks the direction, then goes. Okay, so it has to take a little pee break, no problem at all. Good lead handling, you're staying behind him. I want you to start slowing down just a bit more now. Let's put just a bare minimum of back pressure on him. He needs to start getting used to a little bit of pressure behind him. I still want you to hustle, but I don't want you to run outright or too hard. Okay? So right now he's coming up and out of odor just a little bit. He doesn't really have it, and he's circling around trying to find it again.
Come on, little guy. Come on. I don't think your track's that way, mate. Come on. Raz. Come on.
He did an amazing job of actually circling back on his own here. And this is actually what dogs have to do when they lose the track. And you wonder, well, okay, well, why did he lose the track? It's not very difficult to do that when you reach a point where the trail scent may actually overlap the track a little bit and extend a little bit further, as it probably did towards this creek bed. So what Raz had to do is he, finished that blown odor out as far as he could, and then he went into hunting mode, trying to locate the track again. In order to get the track, he had to circle around back to where he had it originally, which is what he did on his own. And then, as you can see here, he's totally an odor and working it really, really well.
Fuck. Oh, don't get tangled. Don't get tangled, little man. Come on. All right, you're going that way. No, you're not going that way.
It's cool not having to critique much because Raz is doing so great. But you can see when he ran out of odor, he's hunting and looking for it. But watch where he acquires the track. You can see it right there. It's so easy. It's almost like reading a book. Why does these things happen? It's simply because he's moving a little bit too fast sometimes in the terrain that he might have a little bit of difficulty in, and then he loses the direction of the track. But what I love is the fact that even though he might be moving too fast, even though he might make a mistake, and even though he might come up off the track, he continues to hunt and picks it up on his own without you having to help. Now, that's the key to our training philosophy and style. Self-discovery. In other words, the dog learning how to do all these things on his own without your help. So you've done a really, really great job with that. Okay, so obviously he came off track again, and the question is why did this occur? And what my honest opinion is he got into an area where you have a lot of distracting odor, probably other humans and some other dogs. And you can see where he actually picks it up right here. He picks up a track, but I don't think it's your subject. And you can tell by his behavior shortly hereafter where he just gives it up and stops. That's going to happen here in a second. He was just excited to find odor again, but now he's beginning to realize it's not the odor of what he's supposed to be looking for, so he's petering out again. He didn't commit to that cross track, which is a great thing. Now, what's the solution, in this situation? Well, there's two things we could do. One he can find his way back on his own, or two, you might have to help him. And what I like in this situation is he kind of gives up. He gets to the end of this sphere of influence of contaminating odor, and he goes back on his own trying to find it one more time. Right around here, things begin to change a little bit, and you can see his commitment and his intensity has increased dramatically. And right here, this is where he picks up the track again, and you're going to see it. Boom. He's on it. Good trail. Everything is fantastic. Now, why did all this occur? It's because of the contamination and then also the slight surface changes. And this is really where we need to be with Raz right now, is we need to push the envelope on his trails a little bit with changing up the surfaces slightly, number one, and then number two, slowly but surely introduce just a little bit of contamination and distraction. And I'm not sure if he did that on purpose at that intersection or if he just, got into it on his own by accident. It really kind of is irrelevant. The simple fact is at this point, these are the things that we need to kind of push his buttons with. So what I need you to do moving forward with his tracks is find places just like back there at that intersection where he can run across a surface change, either a gravel road or a small... Okay, so you just got a great proximity alert right there, so excuse the interruption, I had to mention it. But what we want to do is look for those places where you have a minor surface change and try to work cross tracks like that a little bit more often. We need to start working more on the surface changes, and let's try to do it in places with perhaps a little less distraction. So we don't want to be near too many houses, because if he runs into distractions plus the surface changes, he might have a little bit of difficulty fixing it. Super cool trail, super work. I mean, just an amazing Raz. Love this dog. And look at what you've got in only 25 training sessions. 520 meter track, 16-week-old puppy. How often does something like that occur? It's only going to get better. Good work. So next trails, I want 2 surface changes. So it can go over a gravel road or a small cement road or trail or bike path or walking path.